Hi everyone, and welcome to the People Analytics channel. If this is your first time here, I'm David Swanagon, and the whole purpose of this content is to provide a free resource for HR professionals and students looking to improve their data science skills. So today I'm going to be covering a very important metric as it relates to high potential nominations and succession planning, and that metric is called promotion velocity. This video is part of our series of People Analytics Fundamentals, which will cover the top 10 metrics that individuals can use when they're trying to start a data science function within their HR organization. So if you haven't done so already, please click subscribe and let's start learning. At the core of data science is you really want to help your executives have a better conversation. And in order to do that, you need to be able to present data in a concise and simple manner. And I like to start all of my videos by really explaining Einstein's philosophy, that if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. So before we can go through the formulas, really try to understand that everything you're doing around data is to keep things simple and concise. Now in terms of analytics, it's really important that you anchor whatever you're doing to an overall improvement method. And there's a lot of methods out there, whether it's Six Sigma or Agile. Personally, I like the Learning to Improve method by Professor Bricks, and it's really a 6-step process where you begin with a problem-specific and user-centered issue. Then you focus on variation. You dive into the system to see what the infrastructure is doing. And then you create measurement to help you track some of the initiatives that you're instituting in the business. You go through discipline inquiry, which includes Ishikawa diagrams, driver diagrams, PDSA cycles, and then you leverage the power of your networks. And it's an iterative, continuous looping process. Now, from a metric perspective, when you think of these 6 steps, promotion velocity fits within the focus on variation. And what's great about this metric is it facilitates brainstorming, it helps differentiate your top talent, it challenges the biases or subjective views of executives, and then it connects to your 9-box, especially if you implement a data-driven 9-box. Now, one of the challenges of identifying high potentials is that you have to find a way to use data to counterbalance the subjective views of executives. And there's a lot of heuristic biases attached. I'm sure you've seen a lot of this in your own careers, whether it's the halo effect, anchoring, overconfidence, fundamental attribution error. There is a number of psychological biases that impact even the best executives. And the only way to really counterbalance and overcome those biases is to present objective data sets that can be compared across employee populations as well as benchmarked externally. Because from a hierarchy perspective, you cannot argue your subjective opinion against someone more senior. It is only through data and by utilizing objective measures that you can have a more accurate picture of the employee workforce. Now take a look at these two situations and ask yourself how data could be used to potentially counterbalance subjective opinions from executives. Whether it's a female that had never been placed in the role before, or in the next graph, you see a gentleman who is a PR executive, but they're looking for an engineer. These subjective opinions can only be overcome by providing objective data sets that show both of them are actually qualified. Now, as we get into the actual formula components, I just want to emphasize one more thing, that People Analytics is about helping executives have a better conversation. So try to focus on this formula and see how you could use it in a concise manner to communicate results. Okay, now the fun part. Now, promotion velocity is actually a very simple formula to calculate. It requires 4 components. You need the age at hire date, when someone joined the company. You need their current age, you need the job level or salary band they were at when they were hired, and then you need the job level salary band where they currently are based on the time you run the report. Now the process for calculating is actually fairly straightforward. It's 3 steps. The first step is you want to take the current age of the employee and subtract the age at the hire date. And then the second step is you want to look at their current job or salary band level and subtract their job level when they were hired in the company. And once you have those 2 numbers, then you go to the third step and you divide the change in age by the change in salary band level. And once you do that, you'll get promotion velocity. Now, if we run through an example on this, you'll get a sense of how this actually works. So let's say we have a high potential we're evaluating, and his or her current age is 38 years old. So you can see in the first box we put 38. Now if they were hired at the company when they were 22, the age at hire date would be put on the far top right box. So the first step is subtracting 38 from 22, and that gives you 16 years that they've been in the company. Now the second step is you look at what is the current job band level. This individual is band 18, for example. And you look at what they were hired at in the company, and let's say this person was hired at band 13. So you subtract 18 from 13, and that gives you a salary band level of 5. Now the third step is to divide the change in age by the change in level, which is 16 years divided by 5 promotions. And when you do that, you get a promotion velocity result of 3.2 years. Exciting stuff! Okay, so now we've calculated promotion velocity and we have a number. What does it actually mean? So essentially what the formula is telling you is the pace that an employee is being promoted within the company. And as I said before, it serves as a counterbalance to heuristic bias. To do this, you really need to compare the result to both internal incumbent leaders and other high potentials, as well as external benchmarks. So a good way to do that is to look at the standard deviation between the promotion velocity of incumbent executives and other high potentials when they were the same age as the employee, and also to look at the velocity trend. Is somebody increasing their promotions over the last few years, or is that pace declining? Also, were there any outlier events and family situations that might have slowed down their promotion velocity? In terms of comparing externally, you can use a lot of data, whether it's through LinkedIn, Burning Glass, other social media platforms, to try to ascertain what are the minimum job experiences required for a career path. So whether it's for an analyst all the way up to a CFO, you can calculate what is the minimum level that someone needs to achieve as they progress in their career, and based on that minimum level you can determine what the promotion velocity should be within a particular domain or a particular job description. And once you have that, the incumbent executive and other high potential numbers and the external benchmarks, it'll give you an idea about whether or not the 3.2 number we calculated previously is a good score, or it's indicative of maybe this person is not the high potential the executives say they are. So as we wrap this up, we were able to calculate the promotion velocity and then also compare it to incumbent executives as well as external benchmarks. The next step in this process is actually to utilize this number as part of a data-driven 9-box. So instead of simply placing people in the box based on subjective opinion, what we do is we anchor where people are located in the box based on promotion velocity as well as a number of other metrics. And I'll be going over that in other videos. So I hope you found this content useful. If you like it, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be uploading new content every week. And once again, it's a free resource for HR professionals or anyone looking to improve their analytics. Thank you so much.